So I'm going to introduce myself and my experience with studying abroad. The fun thing about this presentation and about me is that I am a current student and I did study abroad. So you're kind of hearing it from someone who has firsthand experience with studying abroad. And we're going to talk a little bit about eligibility for studying abroad, earning credit abroad. We're going to go over some of the program types that we offer through our office. We're going to go over housing, funding, and scholarships, and some next steps if you're interested in studying abroad. So firstly, this is me. Like I said, I'm Rachel. I'm a student recruiter at the Study Abroad office. I'm graduating this semester with a degree in film. I studied abroad twice. I first studied abroad in Paris with ISA. That's a partnership program. We'll get into what that means later. And I was gone for a semester, the spring semester of my junior year. And I also didn't put it on the slide, but I also studied abroad kind of in LA. I did the film career boot camp in LA. So that was a domestic program. I always forget that I studied abroad twice because LA doesn't feel abroad to me. But that's something we'll go over later as well, as we do have domestic programs within the United States that are available. But there's some pictures of me in France, some fun facts. I was able to volunteer as a video editor for a French non-governmental organization while I was in France. I traveled after my semester and did work stay exchanges on farms. And I ended up painting a mural in a house near Paris. You can see that on the bottom right picture. And that middle picture is me and my host family and some other students who are studying in Paris. The bottom left is me on my birthday. I turned 21 in Paris. I have a lot of really good memories from this trip, and I learned so many amazing things while I was there, and I miss it all the time. So about you, there's some questions here that I would like to know about all of you. There's quite a few people here, but what I would mostly want to know is, what are your majors? And if you are interested in studying abroad, which I hope you are if you're here, where do you want to study abroad? Or if you know when do you want to study abroad? You can just throw that in the chat. And I kind of want to get to know you all just a little bit. Film, another film student, that's exciting. We do have a few programs that are kind of aimed towards film students or centered around film. Let's see, business law. We have many programs that involve business, education, engineering. We have a lot of programs for engineers, computer science. Great. Elementary education, astrophysics, wow. Very awesome. I'm glad you guys are thinking about places that you want to go, and every major I've seen so far in the chat, you can study abroad. That's the great thing about studying abroad. There's a program out there for you, and you will earn ASU credit when you study abroad, which we will get into here in a moment. But before we get into that stuff, obviously this is a unique time in the world. There is a pandemic happening. We are not oblivious to that fact. We are cautiously optimistic about running programs in the future. We have programs set to run in the spring, in the summer, in the fall. And, you know, we can't predict the future. We're constantly evaluating the situation. And there are going to be some new forms when you're applying for a program, for example, acknowledgement of COVID-19 health, safety, and security risks. But we have a really great FAQ on our website if you want to know more specifics about studying abroad and how it's being impacted by COVID right now. It is always obviously something to keep in mind. So eligibility. In general, to study abroad, you have to have a cumulative GPA of 2.0 or higher, be a degree-seeking student, and be in good standing with ASU Code of Conduct. So hopefully you all fit those requirements. Besides those three basic ones, some programs might have some more requirements. You'll be able to see these requirements on each brochure page, which is on our website. All 300 plus programs are on our website, and they'll tell you if you need any prerequisite courses, if you need foreign language proficiency, or sometimes you need to be a specific major or a specific year at ASU in order to do a program. But the foreign language thing, I hope it doesn't turn you off, because there's so many programs where you don't need to speak a foreign language or even have taken foreign language classes. And besides that fact, there's so many countries that speak English, if that's something you're concerned about. I mean, I didn't speak any French really before I went to France. And I was fine. I took classes while I was there. It was amazing. I did well. Diversity in study abroad. So obviously everyone approaches a situation with their own identities and with their own worldviews and their own situations. We recognize this. And so if you are concerned about how your specific identity or situation will influence your time abroad, we have these tabs on our website specifically for LGBTQ plus students, or Obama scholars, student athletes, non-traditional students. So if these apply to any of you, check them out and see what we have to say. We really work hard to make study abroad accessible for every type of student. And if you have a unique situation or identity that you think might affect your time abroad and you don't see that listed here, reach out to us, because really our office exists to get you to have the best study abroad experience possible. We understand that people come from different backgrounds and have different concerns. So reach out to us if you are concerned in any way. So earning credit abroad. While you're abroad, all credits that you earn will come back and be ASU credits, and they will affect your GPA. If you're gone for a semester or a year, you will remain a full-time student. You will remain an honors student. And while you're abroad, you can earn credit for your major, but we like to tell people that doesn't mean you have to earn credit for your major. You can go and get a credit or a few credits for your minor or certificate, or you can just get some general education credits, or even electives. Like if you're an engineer and you just want to go over the summer and take an art class in Italy, that's totally possible. Don't limit yourself and your study abroad program search to just your major. But that being said, you can easily find a program to knock out some of those credits you need. So I mentioned this already, but we have over 300 programs that we offer through our office, and these span over 65 countries. They range from a week to an entire year. So really, you can find a program that is great for your situation, whether that's a few weeks in the summer, an entire academic year. And there's programs in so many places that you can really find one that appeals to you. Some application deadlines to keep in mind are right here. So the next upcoming deadline is November 15th, and that's if you're going to want to study abroad spring break or post-spring, so in the summer. And then March 1st for if you're wanting to study in the summer or in next fall, or pre-fall, which is also technically summer. So keep those dates in mind, and these are all on our website as well and on each program's brochure page. But don't let these dates sneak up on you. And there's also application deadlines coming up for scholarships, which I'll touch on in a little bit as well. And again, any questions you have, put them in the chat. We're happy to answer them. But so now we're going to get into some program types, because there's a handful of them. First of all, faculty-directed summer programs. These are shorter term, anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks. They're going to be led by ASU faculty, and you'll be in class abroad with ASU students. You will receive predetermined ASU course credits, since these are ASU classes abroad with ASU faculty. And these may have opportunities for internship and research, which is really cool. And the program fee would be tuition, housing, and other program costs, which is pretty typical for all these programs. Global intensive experiences are also a shorter term type of program, more short term, like 7 to 12 days, and these are over session breaks. So these would be like your pre-spring, pre-fall, post-spring, post-fall, or basically winter break, spring break, summer break. And these are also going to be led by ASU faculty, and you'll also be in class with ASU students. And the difference with these is that they're going to be a little less time and a little more intensive, and may be connected to an ASU semester course. So you would take a class at ASU, and then you would go abroad to supplement what you're learning in your class. And so this is a way to combine the in-class learning that you're getting with real-world experiences that are directly related to what you're learning, which is also super cool. And then program fee for this, housing, and various other program costs. Tuition wouldn't be included in this program fee since it would be included in your regular tuition because you're taking that class at ASU typically. Yeah, so domestic global learning. So these can be a little shorter term or a little longer, like a whole semester. And these are the ones that are in the United States. Like I did a domestic global learning program. I went to LA, like I said. We also have ones that go to Hawaii. I can't really remember where the other ones are, but these are great if you, for whatever reason, don't feel the need to leave the country, but still want to go somewhere else and learn about a relevant topic to that area. Like the one that goes to Hawaii is about sustainability, which is awesome. And for these, just check out the program brochure to see what the fees cover. They're going to vary. Partnership programs. I also did a partnership program when I went on a semester program to Paris. These can be summer and more short term, typically like a few weeks to a couple months in the summer. These can be A or B sessions, so like half a semester. They can be a semester or a year long. And now a partnership program is less tied in with ASU, like those programs I mentioned that are with ASU faculty and ASU students. These are companies that exist that get like they structure a program for you to go on, and you will be with other international students. And rather than being with just ASU students while you're abroad, you might be studying with local students, international students, and maybe ASU students as well. But they're going to have on-site staff on site, so wherever you're studying, to help you with things like figuring out transportation, figuring out a phone, and things like that. And they're really going to be there to help you along. And sometimes these might have a foreign language proficiency, but again, just pay attention to those prerequisites on the brochure page and see what it says. I know my program didn't have a foreign language proficiency requirement, so that was cool for me. And these also sometimes have internship and research opportunities. And the program fee for this would be tuition, housing, health insurance, and then excursions. That's another thing about partnerships is they organize excursions for you to go on. So while I was in Paris, we had an excursion to other cities in France. We had an excursion to Belgium. It was pretty sweet. Now, exchanges are also going to be these more long-term ones, summer, semester, or an entire year. And these are going to be a little less, what's the word? A little less, like the partnership programs are a little more like, oh, how do I explain this? Your hand is held a little bit more with partnership programs. They really help organize everything for you, like housing, picking classes, all that stuff. With exchanges, you're going to be finding your own housing with some guidance, probably. You're going to be organizing your own excursions. You're going to be a little more independent with exchanges. So this is why it's a really great culturally immersive option. Like you're just totally immersed. You're taking classes with the local students. You're really living as if you were a student, a regular student in this city, wherever you are. Again, foreign language proficiencies might be required. Like I mentioned, you would arrange your own housing, get your visa, plan your own excursions. And then for the program fee, you'd pay your ASU tuition and fees as usual. So those were all our program types. There is, on our website, there's a program types tab, and you can go and review those types of programs if you don't remember everything that I just spouted off. But we're going to talk about housing a little bit now. There's a lot of different options. So for my program, the partnership program for the semester, we had the option to do a homestay, which is what I chose, or do off-campus apartments. Now, there are some programs who might also offer residence halls at a university. And there's some programs, usually like the shorter term ones, that you'll be staying in a hotel or a hostel. And this information can also be found on the program brochure page. You can see what the options are for living abroad, whatever program you end up doing. So a big misconception about studying abroad is that it's totally unaffordable and that there's no way to be able to afford something like this, which really is a misconception. I mean, just in reference to scholarships, last year ASU students received over $1.4 million in scholarships for studying abroad. But besides that fact, your scholarships and financial aid that you already receive for studying at ASU can possibly apply to a study abroad program that you do. So, for example, I have a New American University scholarship, and that went towards my semester in Paris. And we have later, I'll show you guys the website. We have a really great graph that'll show you what your specific scholarships, how they would apply to different programs. But besides that, we as an office offer a handful of scholarships that you can apply for. Check those out because most likely you will qualify to be able to apply for them, which is great. Besides that, we have a search on our website where you can search for national scholarships or college and department scholarships. And we also offer a Financing Your Study Abroad workshop that I recommend attending because we go over in more detail the fees associated with studying abroad, but also how to apply your scholarships and financial aid and how to use crowdsource and community-based funding to help pay for a study abroad program. And we also have a really cool link on our website that shows programs that are the same cost, less than, or maybe just a little bit more than the cost of studying abroad or studying at ASU. And we have that divided into if you're an Arizona resident, if you're a non-resident, and you can compare the cost of living in Tempe or wherever you are and doing a semester or a year at ASU versus going abroad. So really, it can be affordable for you, and don't let that discourage you from studying abroad because it truly is an incredible experience. So I'm going to put in the chat. There we go. This form, and if you don't mind filling it out just with some information about you, and if you had any question that you didn't want to ask in the chat or just a specific question you want to reach out to us about, you can put that in that form as well. Yeah, let me keep presenting here though. We are active in all these social medias, which is really great. I really like to point out our WordPress that we have, which returned studying abroad students will write about their experiences on this blog. I have a short blog on there, and it's really great to hear right from the horse's mouth, I guess, the experience of studying abroad and how it has impacted ASU students and what they thought and advice that they might have for you planning to study abroad. So I would check out that WordPress for sure. And I'm also a huge fan of our YouTube and our Instagram. Our YouTube, we have different videos of people who have gone abroad, and you can find videos of people in your major who have gone abroad who might have some insight for you. Upcoming events. This is a Study Abroad 101 presentation, but we do have those twice a week. We have our Financing Your Study Abroad every other Thursday, also virtual. And we also record those presentations and put them on our YouTube. So if you can't make it to these, you can check them out on our YouTube. And then this is the Study Abroad week. This is the first event, but there's many events happening this week. One that I'm really excited about is the parent and family event. So if you have a family member who you want to show study abroad, or they're kind of interested about what it's about, invite them to that session as well. But we have some really cool sessions going on this week. So definitely stay tuned and check them out. So getting started, if you are like, this is for me, this is it, I want to do this, which great, I'm so excited for you. I would recommend starting at our website. It's super comprehensive. There's a lot of FAQs there. You can go and start looking at programs right after this presentation, and you can see what's out there, what you might like to do. You can check out the places that we go, the different topics that you can study abroad. And there's just a lot of really great information on our website. But you can also set up an appointment with a peer advisor if that's interesting to you. Those are also students who have studied abroad before. They can kind of guide you through our website and some programs if you're having difficulty picking a program or kind of figuring them out. Another thing you can do is meet with your academic advisor. It's never too early to start planning and to start letting people know that you are planning to study abroad. You can just let them know, like, hey, I think I want to study abroad. Like, here's some programs I'm interested in. They might have some advice, but they might not. Either way, it's a good idea to get them in the loop. And also, both of you guys can look at the classes that might be offered while you're studying abroad, and they can help you out and give you some advice. Attend the Financing Your Study Abroad workshop. If you are planning on going abroad, I think this is a vital presentation to attend. And then, yes, you can call or email us at any time. We also have a live chat on our website if you want to talk to someone in real time, and you can scan this QR code. It is just a way to request more information and ask questions again. But we really, as an office, exist to help you and to make this happen for you, to answer your questions, to debunk kind of the misconceptions that are out there about studying abroad. And we want to make this happen for you, and we're so excited and here to help. So do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or just want a little bit more help. All right, so I am going to show you our website now. Keep asking questions in the chat. We really want to make it clear for you all. And the WordPress site, you can find that on our website. I'll point that out too. Let me screen share our website. Okay. That looks good, I think. Yeah. Okay. So this is our website. You can just type in ASU Study Abroad Office or ASU Study Abroad. It should be the first search. This green banner is where there's some FAQ about studying abroad and coronavirus. Always good to be knowledgeable about those things. We have a lot of information up here. The first thing I'm going to point out is we have this study abroad by major button. Now we are still adding to these major guides, and keep in mind that if your major is on here, this isn't, let's pick one, for example. Someone said they were an engineering student. So let's go and look at engineering. School of Engineering. Just pick one of these. I think I saw aerospace in the chat, so we'll click on aerospace. So there will be a little blurb about why you should study abroad. And most of the time, like, the reasons you should study abroad is that it looks great on a resume, yes, but also you create lifelong memories. You really learn to be independent and to problem solve, and you learn cultural diversity, and you meet people abroad. And it's really, it really impacts your worldview, and being put so far out of your comfort zone is just a great way to build yourself as a person and as an adult, and to supplement what you're learning at ASU, truly. So there will be variations on that in this Why You Should Study Abroad section. There will be some messages from your school about studying abroad, some advice here, general advice, meeting with your academic advisor, and then some recommended programs. So again, these aren't the only programs you can do by any means, but if you really want to do, for example, an aerospace engineering program, there's just some recommended programs here. So this is what all these major guides will look like. So you could, if you're interested in, let's see, this ISA partnership program in Spain, click it. And this is what a typical brochure page will look like. We are actually updating the brochure pages too, so it might look a little bit different when you click on one. But all of them are going to have all the information about the program. So when I said brochure, this is what I meant. It's just the page of the program with all the information. So it's in Spain. partnership, it'll tell you the language of instruction. If there's a language prerequisite, this one doesn't have a prerequisite. Areas of study, it'll show you the international coordinator, which will be different for each program. And if you want to schedule an appointment with them, you can click international coordinator right here, and it'll allow you to make an appointment with them if you had some specific questions to ask them, or maybe if you were juggling a few programs and you weren't sure which one was exactly right for you. But all of the pages will have an overview of the program. It'll give you some information about the location, some information about academics and courses that will be offered, housing. So for this one, it has the option for homestay, apartment, or student residence, and then special considerations, accommodations, etc. Some information about cost, funding, if there's extra or specific funding for this program, gallery, some photos, and then some extra links. So that's what a typical brochure page will look like. And then down here, it'll show you the deadlines to apply. So this one, since it's running in the spring, or the next one's running in the spring, the deadline passed, but for the fall, it's coming up in April. So it's always a good idea to keep these dates and deadlines in mind. And if you are on a brochure page and this apply now button isn't here, you can save the program. You'll get an email when it's starting to accept applications. So if you don't see this button here, don't worry that it's not running, unless it says somewhere on the page that it's specifically not running when you are interested in going. So another way to look at programs besides the major guide is to just go to search and apply for a program. I really love this feature on our website. So if you had a specific region in mind, like you want to go to somewhere in Europe, for example, and maybe you're studying business. And if you had any other qualifiers where you're like, I really want to see if I can do an internship, or I have a Gilman scholarship, or maybe you know what kind of program you want to do, like you really want to do a global intensive experience, you can kind of sort through those 300 programs using these fields. And if you're a little overwhelmed by how many programs we have, this might be a good idea to kind of narrow these down. So let's look at business programs in Europe. Okay, so it'll show you just kind of all of the programs that are that have business as the area of study and that are in Europe. And you can also sort by country or city. So let's see what kind of countries we have here. We have Austria, Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain. Ooh, a lot in Spain. Sweden, United Kingdom, a lot in the United Kingdom. Yeah, so that's a good way to kind of sort down these programs. And then I think I mentioned earlier that we have a feature on our website that shows you more low-cost programs. And that is going to be here. You can click Explore Low-Cost Programs. And for example, if you are an Arizona resident, or let's click on non-resident if you're an out-of-state student. So these are going to compare the cost of attendance for 12 or more ASU credits per semester, comparing that at ASU to a semester abroad. So it'll show you if it's less than the price of being at ASU, comparable, or just a little bit more. And you can see these more low-cost programs. But again, keep in mind, we have a lot of ways for you to check out scholarships. And you can see that under our Explore Funding tab, and you can click Scholarships and Grants. This was a little chart I mentioned earlier. So like I said, I have a New American University scholarship, and I looked over here and I was like, whoa, partnership semester, I could do that. And my scholarship helped me cover that cost. And so you can check that out. This is the scholarship search for national scholarships and college-specific scholarships. You can click that and see what scholarships you might qualify for. And then our study abroad office grants and scholarships are here, like this diversity scholarship. Keep in mind that everyone is diverse in their own way. So if you don't feel like you're diverse enough, don't shy away from looking into applying for this. And these scholarship pages will look similar to a program page. It'll have some info about the scholarship and some application deadlines down here. So, and the cool thing is that a lot of these scholarships, you don't have to be accepted to a program in a lot of cases. You just have to be in the process of applying to a program. But regardless, it's always a good idea to plan your study abroad program early so that you can apply for these scholarships and get everything sorted and be really prepared for your study abroad. But lots of good resources on here. Stuff about internships abroad, about applying, a general getting started page, which is probably just going to say a lot of what I said. Look at you guys, you already are attending a Study Abroad 101 presentation, so you have really got the ball rolling, and this is a good start. Next good start is to search programs and to kind of meander around our website. Again, meeting with your academic advisor, making an appointment with an international coordinator, and the application process is an online process. But if you find a program that you're really keen on, start that process so you can see all the materials you need to get in to apply. So that's kind of our website. And I think I said I would show you how to find our blog that I mentioned, the WordPress blog. You scroll all the way down, you can click this W. It'll take you to the WordPress. Make sure you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. Okay. And you can see recent posts. For example, managing mental health while abroad, which is, something to consider. It can be scary sometimes being abroad, being away from your family, and things happen. So I haven't read that one yet. That's probably a cool read. What else is here? Living with a host family, learning how to keep an open mind. So yeah, and if you have a specific topic you're kind of searching for, you can search here. Like if you're interested in Paris, you can click and see some students who have been in Paris and what they had to say about it. So this is that's me. I wrote a blog. So this is a good way to really hear directly from these students who have had experiences abroad and what they thought and how they did and what they have to say. So that's a cool feature. And I also wanted to point out, just going to go back to our main website. If you want to make an appointment, there's this link down here. And this is how you would make a peer advising appointment if you decide that would be beneficial to you. There's info about how to call us, email us, and the live chat is right here, this button. And if you were to click that, you could chat with someone in our office during our office hours. And then you can make an appointment with an international coordinator down here. Yeah, so our website is truly super great. I'm going to check out the chat and see what you all are saying. Okay, we showed the low cost programs. If there's anything that I said I would show you or you wanted to see, you can put that in the chat. I can definitely go and show you. The YouTube channel. Yeah, let's check out the YouTube channel. You can scroll down again and click YouTube. Lots of good videos here. I don't remember if I shared my sound, but we could watch a quick video. What's a good one? We can watch the video I made. Let me make sure that I shared my sound. Just give me 1 second. Okay, that's good. Okay, this is a video I made when I came back from Paris. Let's check it out. Hopefully the sound is good. Wow, I haven't watched that in a while. It gets me right in the feels. So that was just a little video I made, just kind of a 1 minute, I guess, what I learned when I studied abroad. But there's also a lot of good interviews here from people who have studied abroad in the past. Let's find one of those. Let's check out this one, Brazil and Spain.
Cesare Pavese, an Italian poet, once said, "Traveling, it leaves you speechless, then turns you into a storyteller." Before studying abroad, I constantly enjoyed reading books and watching movies set in beautiful and distant places. But I always thought that traveling was something that I would get to do after graduating. Maybe. When starting my academic career at Arizona State University, I saw the opportunity to study abroad in Sao Paulo, Brazil for a full semester, and I took it. Spring of 2016 marked the time I traveled, lived, and stayed abroad in Brazil. This was the first time I was truly away from home and on my own. Stepping off the plane and looking around at my surroundings at the airport in Sao Paulo gave me a blast of culture shock. Fortunately, the culture shock wore off bit by bit as the days passed by and I found a new routine. On weekday mornings, I walked or took the metro if I was running late to my business courses at Fundação Getúlio Vargas. I found a routine, but my daily life was still a struggle due to language and culture barriers. Whenever I went out, I always found myself translating menus and other things on my phone. My daily struggles taught me that there are so many ways of living. By immersing myself into the Brazilian culture, I learned to adapt to my environment. It was the best thing that ever happened to me because I gained a new perspective on life. In the spring of 2018, I studied abroad once more, this time in Seville, Spain. I took what I learned from my previous study abroad program and immersed myself completely in this new culture to adapt myself to my new home for the coming months. In Seville, I wasn't just another tourist. I became a local. I was a regular at a grocery store and had to go to a coffee shop. It felt great to live in such a beautiful city, but also amazing to get the chance to travel to other countries with my friends during my weekends and breaks. This semester was the best semester of my life because I had the opportunity to travel to 17 different countries. I finally got to see a lot of the places that I read about my entire life. Every experience was memorable to me, but my favorite memory during the semester was when my parents came to visit me in Spain. It was an incredible experience because this was their first time in Europe and I got to be their guide. Studying abroad made me realize that by learning to adapt to new situations and cultures, I can truly do anything.
Cool. I've never seen that one on our YouTube, so I really enjoyed that. But great questions in the chat. Keep asking them. I saw one before. Someone said something about musical theater, I think, and that got me curious. So let's go to study abroad ASU. Let me find that comment. Musical theater major. So let's go into study abroad by major. Let's see what we got here. Got film and media. Let's check out film and media. Oh, that's just film and media. Well, let's go to search and apply for a program. Let's see what's in areas of study if there's theater. Television. Let's put theater in the programming. How do you spell theater? I know we used to have one that had to do with theater. May not be running. Here's one about carnival arts, calypso music, and environmental conservation in Trinidad and Tobago. It's pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Does anyone want me to maybe search for a topic they're interested in or a place they're interested in? I could do that. If not, we can play a little game of true or false. But if anyone wants me to check out a specific type of program, let me know. Someone wants dietetics and nutrition. Let's go back to the program search. Take out music. I know there's a nutrition thing in here. Let's go down to nutrition. Click that guy. Okay. Oh, so there's quite a handful of programs that cover nutrition. Nutrition, health, and Mediterranean diet in Italy and Spain. Wilderness astronomy. I don't know how that relates to nutrition, but that's cool. Mediterranean food and culture in Sicily. Yeah, so check those out if you're a nutrition major. Or if not, if you're just interested in studying food while you're abroad, you can also do that. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. And let's see. Usually I leave a bunch of time at the end for questions, but this time it's so nice to have people in the chat answering questions for me. All right. We are going to play a game. Everyone loves games, right? Or is that just me? I love games. Okay. So this is a game about study abroad myths. So in the chat, do we think this is fact or fiction? You have to speak a foreign language to study abroad. Fiction, fiction. Yes, this is not true. Like I said before, there are a bunch of countries out there who have English either as their primary language or they also speak English. But besides that fact, even if you don't have classes under your belt in a foreign language, you can still go to a foreign country that speaks a language that you don't. There are plenty of programs like that, so don't let that discourage you from studying abroad. Fiction. Okay. You have to wait until your junior year to study abroad. Do we think this is fact or fiction? Oh, someone's asking, is it frustrating not speaking the language there, though? That's a really good question, and that probably depends on the type of person you are. There were plenty of times I felt frustrated not being able to communicate well with my host family or with people at a store. I think that really added to the whole experience for me because it was challenging to communicate with people, and it really opens your eyes to the fact that not everyone communicates the way that you do. So while you're studying abroad, you may run into frustrating situations, but I think those are the situations that we really grow from. And of course, if you're extremely nervous or worried about being in a place where they don't speak your language, I mean, I wouldn't let that discourage you because you will have people there who speak your language and you can find a place for you and you can learn the language. I believe in you. But there are places you can go, again, domestically or places that speak English. So good question. Yes, this one is also fiction. You can study abroad as early as spring break of your freshman year and all the way up until you're a senior. Now, of course, there may be a better time for you to study. Junior year is a popular time to go abroad, but don't think that you have to go abroad at a specific time. And that also relates to length. If you don't want to go for a semester to another country, you could do a shorter term program in the summer or on a break. But if you don't want to do a shorter term program, you want to be gone longer, you can go on a semester. So Don't compare your preferences to other people's study abroad experiences, and really don't, do it for you. Do it because it's something you want to do and it's right for you. Studying abroad is expensive and there are not many scholarships for it. Do we think this is fact or fiction? Fiction. Hopefully we all think this is fiction after my presentation. This is another misconception, like I said, that's really just not true. And I encourage all of you to look into that scholarship and funding page that I pointed out on our website, and to start planning your program now so that you can apply for as many scholarships as possible. Another cool thing is that you can stack scholarships for your program. So you can, if you do get a few of them, you can use all of them or both of them or one of them or none of them, it depends, but don't forget about scholarships. And don't be discouraged about price. If you were interested in those low cost programs I pointed out, go back to our website and check those out as well. A lot of good options for making study abroad affordable. Okay, you will not graduate on time if you study abroad. Do we think this is fact or fiction? Fiction. Yeah, this is another big misconception. And really, you're earning credit while you're abroad. You can find programs that are related to your major that have classes that are on your degree map. When I was a business student, I went on a business program to France, and I changed my major while I was abroad, which was a little bit, wild for me. But I changed my whole entire major, and I'm only graduating a semester late. Now, a lot of my coworkers who I've worked with at the study abroad office, who also were students who went abroad, are graduating on time. And I know several, even engineering students who are gone for an entire semester who are graduating on time, and they took classes for their majors. So if people are telling you that, it'll push back your degree, or that, you're taking a break from your classes, that's misguided. And really, you can find a way to stay on track and study abroad. It's entirely possible. All right, this is fun, huh? I like games. I'm having fun. Okay, any student in any major can study abroad. Fact or fiction? Fact. Fact. Oof, if someone got a set of fiction. Fiction. Ooh, we've kind of got some conflict here. Yeah, we threw a wrench in this time. This one is a fact. If you're a student at ASU, the news is this: you can study abroad, and any major can study abroad. It's possible and easy, really. And we already did that. Yeah, that's that whole game. So are there any other questions? Maybe do you guys have any questions about my specific study abroad program? Or if you wanted me to go back to anything on the website, I can do that. Or any questions, throw them out there, really. If not, I guess I'll just talk about my experience a little bit. Let me stop screen sharing so you can really get a good look at my face. I think studying abroad was one of the best things that I did while I was in college. The website, someone else will put the website in there, but I didn't even know it was a thing until my junior year, the fall semester, my junior year, and someone was talking about how they were planning on studying abroad. And I guess I kind of knew it was a thing, but I didn't know much about it. It hadn't crossed my mind. I didn't go into college thinking that I was going to study abroad. And as soon as I heard it, I couldn't get it out of my mind. I was like, that would be so cool. I want to be like this person. I want to have an experience abroad and study abroad. That sounds intense and amazing. And I don't really remember the process because it's kind of a whirlwind. I remember looking into it, looking into programs. I think I went into the office and got some brochures. And then all of a sudden, I was accepted to go to Paris. And really, for me, picking a place to go, I just kind of picked some programs that were business programs, and there was a bunch of them. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have fun wherever I go. I'm just going to pick a place and I'm just going to kind of take a risk and do it. And I did it. And I went to France. I was there for 5 months, in Paris and in other places in France. And I mean, it was scary at times. You know, I missed my mom. It was difficult to call people with the time difference, but I felt so independent. I had never been so far away from everything that I knew for so long, and it changed my perspective on a lot of things, and I think that it made me a more confident and capable and independent person. And I can't imagine the type of person I would be if I hadn't had that experience. Truly, I made friends who live in Europe that I'm still in contact with, that I plan on visiting in the future. And I don't know, I felt like a true adult doing cool adult things. And I never imagined that I would leave the country in college. I didn't think I would have the time really, or the money. And that was the first time I had ever been out of the United States. It was a lot of first times for me. Someone mentioned they would miss their family so much. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I missed my family a lot, but I don't know, there's something to that. There's something to missing the place that you call home. And of course, being homesick is a big part of studying abroad. For me, it was all worth it because it was part of the process and it was part of the learning and part of really the experience. But then again, like there's shorter term programs if you really don't want to be gone for so long, and you do have a lot of support while you're gone. And there's a lot of resources out there for homesickness if you do end up going abroad and you're curious about that. So, but don't let that discourage you as well. Like getting out of your comfort zone can be a really beautiful thing. Did you have friends within the program that you could turn to? My roommate, so I stayed in a homestay with a host family, and I stayed in a room with a girl who is from Pennsylvania. And we clashed at first. It was very strange. We were total opposites, and then something clicked and she became just my total best friend. Like we went to cafes together, we went grocery shopping together, we shared our struggles together, we went to the movies together, and we practiced French together. It was really valuable to have her there, and I was really glad I had her and my other roommates in the homestay. And then I made a few friends with locals there. I made friends with this girl from Germany who was visiting Paris, and I ended up staying with her in Germany for a while. And she was really interested in learning about America, and I learned a lot about her childhood growing up in Germany, and that was amazing. So, and I had quite a few friends who were in the ISA program. So I went to the American Business School in Paris, and then there were international students and French students, and then the ISA study abroad students. So within that group, I definitely made quite a few friends because those were the people I went on excursions with and had meetings with the ISA people with. So I felt like I had a lot of friends, and they're lasting friendships to this day, really. Um, but yeah, and keep asking questions if you want. We're 3 minutes away from the end, so I wanted to thank all of you for listening to me talk about study abroad, something that I am just as excited about now since the day I got back, or I guess since the day I was accepted to my program. I'm excited for all of you that you're considering it and that you're at least learning about it now. I know I didn't even really know it was a thing until junior year. I don't know if I just had my head in the sand for what, but you guys all have this information now. And at the very least, you can look at our website and look into it and see if it's something that you can work into your college experience and something that's right for you. And I would encourage all of you to reach out to the office again through email, or you can call us, set up an appointment, or live chat. There's a lot of ways that we want you to reach out to us because we're here to help. Um, so, yeah, and I hope everyone had their questions answered. If you didn't, you can ask them on that form that I linked in the chat, or I think on our website there's a way you can click like ask a question. You can ask us a question. So, and take a look at the other sessions that are happening this week for Study Abroad Week. There's a lot of other cool sessions coming up. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Feel free to leave if you'd like. We still have 2 minutes. You can ask me any questions. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. But really, I gave a presentation in a engineering class the other day, and the professor, he was really emphasizing like you can get a perfect GPA, you can, you know, study, in this case, engineering really hard, but there's other things out there and there's other ways to really benefit from a college experience. Studying abroad is just one of those ways to set yourself apart from other people, but also kind of get yourself ready for life outside of college. So, I mean, I can't recommend studying abroad enough. I wish I could do it again, really. I wish I wasn't graduating this semester. But it is now 5 p.m. Again, thank you guys for listening to me. I hope you're going to be participating in other events this week. Feel free to leave the presentation. I probably won't be saying much more. And yeah, thank you guys so much.